Hey, did you ever use that TikTok filter that shows how old you are?
The what?
Did you see that TikTok filter that, like, will show what you look like when you're old?
No.
It's, like, really, really realistic.
I've done the Snapchat filter where it turns you into the opposite, like, gender. So it's like,
Wait.
And do you want to know who I looked like?
Did you look like Jimmy?
I looked like Jimmy. I was like, God damn it.
No, I used it like many other people, and I looked really, really old. And
what were
it
your
just
thoughts
makes me,
and feelings?
I feel like I put on like 8 layers of sunscreen, and I already used the baby version, which, as you know, is like 90 proof or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, wow, gotta get a handle on it. And now even looking on this film, I'm like, oh my God, my nose is red. Everything's red.
Oh my God. You look great. Don't panic.
I mean, I feel like I look great, but I think there's a reality to like your skin, you know, is like, hey, beach babe, we gotta get a handle on it.
I know you don't watch this show, and it is trash, so you don't have to. I wouldn't watch it.
Oh wow, what a hype.
I don't know. Sorry. But I am watching it because I just can't help myself.
Dance Moms?
The Sex and the City reboot.
Oh, I'm still watching that.
Are you? Oh,
the season 2.
That?
We should talk about the season 2.
Oh, we should at some point. Yeah, but I feel like when you see those women, it's like, holy shit, you guys like look pretty good.
They look amazing.
What the hell? Yeah.
I know.
Carrie looks great. Like, she looks...
They all look amazing.
I'm like, what is the skincare
I know.
routine?
Well, and it's not... I'm kind of in the, like, yes, we should all age. I'm with you. But there's certain things that I'm like, oh, this is, like, a direct result of my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. For example, if you don't use sunscreen, you get age spot. Like, you get the spots.
Yeah.
You know?
I have them all on my arm.
But
even though I wear sunscreen, but...
God, yeah, I'm telling you.
It's crazy.
You know? We're like outdoor people, you know?
We are. Oh my God, speaking of that, I set up a composting Tumblr bin. I'm composting, everyone. Alert the media.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought I told you I got like shit. I'm gonna get into composting.
Okay, did I tell you that for one of the classes I taught, one of our projects was composting?
Oh my God.
I learned all about it. There's certain worms you can get.
You should teach me then. Oh, I don't want worms. Do I have to get those?
No, you don't have to get them, but I learned all about them. And, I could really help you out.
All I know is I screwed in, I'm not kidding, 100 screws. 100. I counted.
Wow. And you were like, I don't know about this.
And I was like, this better be the last screws that I do this year because...
Wow, do you remember our Uncle David and his compost pile?
Yeah, and I was like, I could do that. I have like outdoor woods, but I was worried about, I already get a lot of animals, visitors. Yeah. So I was like, let's put this in like a plastic bin and hope that nothing finds it. So we'll see, but I'll keep you updated on my stinky journey.
I'm loving this for you.
I'm trying to help the plants, you know.
I think that's fantastic.
Help the planet, the plants, everything.
Helping everything.
Trying.
Wow.
Love your planet.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, 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 sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
Welcome back, listeners.
How we doing? Did you fly here?
Are you ready to ride on the highway to the danger zone?
Danger zone.
Yeah.
Danger zone.
If you took a sip every time they played that song, I think you'd be asleep.
I would argue Take My Breath Away was played more.
Yo, that one, yes. Yeah, they really recycle a lot of the songs, don't they?
So tiring.
Oh, well, listeners, I'm going to introduce ourselves because one of us is a pilot. One of us does whatever the other job is that I have a lot of questions about. And we don't have nicknames, but maybe we'll come up with some.
Ooh.
Okay, you think of that, Bridge, while I do the intro. So, listeners, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And do you feel the need Need for Speed. Oh, just me.
I thought you were going to keep going. I was like, yeah, I do.
Sorry, I thought.
This is the 1986 hit Top Gun.
Highway to the danger zone. Yeah. Thought a lot about Independence Day. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I agree.
I'm sorry.
So much. I thought about it so much.
I was born in the 90s. I'm sorry.
So much, and I thought Independence Day robbed from every movie ever.
Yes!
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Kate, who does this?
You. It's
Damn.
you. It's you.
Tom
it's you.
Cruise
it's
is Maverick, a pilot who flies by instinct and has to overcome his traumas to win in a competitive world.
Is there more than one trauma?
Tom Cruise is the star.
He is.
His code name is Maverick. He is in the Navy like all these other pilots. I don't understand why we have flying people in the Navy, but I was told by my very smart husband who knows this world.
Who was in the Air Force.
That they want pilots to land on water, on the watercrafts. And so that's a different skill than like Air Force.
Why is it different? Isn't it
Because
flat?
I think when people want Air Force, they're like, send out the planes, this is what your job is, but we don't need the planes to land on the boats.
Okay.
And so that's where the Navy comes in. I thought, okay, you guys should just play together, but
seems
whatever.
Seems like a stretch, but yeah.
Whatever. So these naval pilots are basically the top 1% are picked out from whatever, all of the Navy, and they're sent to this school that is called the Fight Weapons School.
Top Gun.
To teach the lost art of aerial combat. But the local name is Top Gun. So there's lots of people in this film, but I feel like Val Kilmer's in this film.
Woo!
Meg Ryan.
Yeah, she surprised me.
Just like Tim Robbins, like lots of random people, but like, I don't know, it was very much about like Tom Cruise. Kelly McGillis, which is Charlie, the love interest. And I don't know, I looked at it like, okay, what would you assume a bunch of like white people in the Navy is? Like, fly planes, that was the vibe. So when they go to the school, it's all about who's the best. And I have to say, this movie has the most like incredible cinematography for flying. Like, I thought that was like, I'm like, this is why this movie was amazing.
Right.
There's a love story with Tom Cruise and one of the teachers, who, by the way, Katie, is an astrophysicist.
Girl!
Why are you teaching about flying planes? Isn't that in space? We learned from our sister Mary that has nothing to do.
We'll have
Mary,
to fact check with our
understand.
sister on that.
And so they go through lots of effort trying to be the best. There's some tragedy that we will get into, and it's super sad.
Wow.
And I cried. And then at the end, what?
You did?
I totally cried.
Oh, I
because
mean,
I felt bad
too.
for Meg Ryan. I just fell in love with her and Harry Met Sally, and now she's losing her husband.
Maybe she'll go meet Harry now. Okay. Sorry, spoilers. Okay.
So then, in the end, as Katie would say, they basically, he doesn't get number one, but then they go into battle and he becomes number one in battle. And they end on this high note of beating the Russians. And that's the other backstory, is it's the Cold War era. And so we're not like fighting the Russians, but we are really obsessed with our turf as usual. And so these MiGs are the code name for the Russian planes. Did you not know that?
Absolutely. I didn't know what was going on half the time, number one. Number two, did they talk about that in the movie, or did you learn that from your husband? Because
I learned that from James, but I think there was
I was like, how did I fucking miss that?
I think they didn't like ever explain any of it, but he was like,
writing,
oh, MiGs is a Russian plane. I was like, oh, sure.
I kept writing. I was like, who are these bad guys? Is anyone going to talk about it? Are we in a war? Somebody give me context. I'm going to fail the quiz.
Yeah. So, but that's my quick synopsis, because I think this movie, there's not plot. There's really terrible plot and story writing, but there's incredible flying scenes and great acting, kind of, in certain scenarios. But yeah, the story just seems like so stupid. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I agree. And I would also add that, again, the music is pretty iconic. And if you listen to our last last episode, when this movie was introduced, I did share that my freshman year in high school, our marching band show was Top Gun themed.
Wow.
So we played the intro theme song, do 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 do. We played that a couple times. We played Danger Zone. We played Take My Breath Away. And then there was like another song that I don't know which one it was. Maybe it was during the volleyball scene. I was a little distracted during that scene, so I wasn't paying attention to the music.
Okay.
But yeah, it was iconic.
This brought me back to how I felt about Now and Then, where Chrissy and Roberta should have fell in love and whatever. Because Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise should have fell in love for this movie.
So,
and it was it was pre Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Oh.
So that nobody could be like gay. But boy, oh boy, did you feel it? I felt the love between those two.
I felt like everyone was in love. And
everyone was in love. So many people were in love.
Those shower scenes, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, when are we diving in?
Wow.
When is it going Pornhub? I'm not going to be upset, okay? I support everything you guys do.
Gorgeous.
As long as we're safe and consensual.
But this was so manly and cheesy. It was so manly and cheesy.
Wait, but I do want to talk about that because I re-listened to our episode on Commando, which we did last year in the summer. I know.
Wow.
It has a connection, I swear.
Wow.
Because listeners, we've done a lot of movies at this point.
lot.
So sometimes we don't always remember things we talk about. And I did not remember this, but when I re-listened, I was like, holy shit. So that was an 80s action movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And we talked a lot about how we felt like Arnold's character and the bad guy in that movie were like in love with each other. And like it was like the same type of vibes. And we were like, why can't they just like be together? What's happening?
Why fight the love?
That was literally this movie. It was like, why can't we all just have a big orgy in the bathroom? Come on.
I think it would have helped a lot, personally.
Goose could have been alive. If only.
Goose is dead because they couldn't figure it out. Okay?
And we all know Tom Cruise would be a bottom. Don't even try to convince me otherwise. Oh, thank you. Good night.
100%. Although he'd probably have to use lips. Okay.
Oh my god.
He's so short. Anywho, we start off with really manly fonts.
Oh.
And then we get a Star Wars moment. March 3rd, 1969.
Oh, yes.
U.S. Navy launched elite school for the top 1% of pilots. It was to teach the lost art of aerial combat and to ensure they had the best fighter pilots in the world. I'm not making this up. This is literally in the movie. They succeeded. Navy calls it Fight Weapon School. The Flyers call it, wait for it, Top Gun. And it hits the freaking, it hits you in the face, and you're like, buckle up, because this cheese is ready to ball.
And I think that's when they first played Danger Zone, because every time they played it, I wrote it in my notes in all caps, and I wrote it really early on, where it was like, Danger Zone! A lot of times, they're showing the planes, and you don't know who is who or what's happening, but you just, like you said, you're seeing planes, and it was very, like sepia tone was like, the theme.
I thought is the air quality bad in 86 too?
Oh, is there a fire in Canada, guys? Well, they were like, this was all in the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, where are we? I don't know where we were.
Pacific, right?
Pacific Ocean? Okay, yeah.
I thought so.
That sounds right. I don't know, because I, again, was confused many times.
Googling what ocean was Top Gun filmed. It was the Pacific. Okay, moving on.
Okay, moving on. So we pretty quickly get introduced to Maverick and Goose. Now, Bridge, again, Katie's coming in with the questions. Yeah. It's going to be 20 questions tonight. Okay. So I'm on a jet, and it's a fighter jet, or whatever we want to call this. And obviously someone flies the jet. They gotta steer it. I have to look out the front window, or whatever we call it. That's great. Then there was a guy in the back, which I didn't realize this was part of the plot. Yeah. And that was Goose. And, well, what was Goose's
Okay, here's what I understood.
Okay.
It's such a complicated, it's so complicated just to fly. And then these, like, missile, what are they called? Like, when they get locked in.
The radar. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, just to pay attention to that is, like, a separate challenge. So think of it as, like, this is how James explained to me. One person's flying, the other person's, like, defending. So they're, like, paying much more attention to, like, you're locked in, now we know the radar's on us, you're not locked in, you're in in zone, you're not in zone. And so the flyer then is like listening. It's like someone's got Google Maps and the flyer's like, I don't want to know where to go. I just need to know if I make a left or right.
Yeah,
okay?
tell me where to turn.
So that was how I understood it. But I think someone way more intelligent than me could do a better job.
Well, it does. That makes more sense because it was reminding me of, I'm sorry to reference it again, listeners, when I was in fucking Disney World and there's a goddamn Star Wars ride where you need 6 people to pilot this goddamn airplane. We only had 3. It was a horrible experience and I didn't understand what job was happening. And I was like, is this a job? Like, am I going to really crash my plane if I don't have him back there? But
did you just yell, who's Goose to everybody? Were you like, duck, duck, duck?
Well, it was just me and Julie and some random girl. The random girl was not feeling it. So I was God. We're going to focus.
But this scene, this starting scene, and by the way, I do have notes saying the Cold War is happening. The Russians are on our turf.
Oh
so I don't know if that was in the film.
I missed all of that.
But basically, Tom Cruise flips his plane upside down,
gets
gets super close. It's a fancy shot, and then he takes a picture and gives the finger. And this is what, in my opinion, is the only reason the astrophysicist teacher falls in love with him, because she wants the skinny for her research
She wants that Polaroid picture for her scrapbook.
I just was like...
Because honestly...
Wait, should I have paid more attention to this scene? Because I just thought we're all flying planes. I didn't realize this was like a groundbreaking moment to ever interact with a MiG.
I didn't either, and I didn't know if the other planes were bad guys for real or if it was fake. I didn't know what was happening. And I was like, I don't know, we're giving the finger and taking like a Polaroid. Stakes can't be that high, right? Maybe they are. I don't know. I'm sweating. Also, why did you bring a Polaroid on your plane? Are there snacks back there too? Jesus.
There's no way there's snacks.
They
would fly everywhere.
Who knows?
It's incredible.
I don't know.
All I know is Cougar was having a problem.
Cougar
was really stressed out.
Yeah.
So, what I learned about Cougar was number 1. And I asked James, I said, what the hell does it mean when someone's number 1? Aren't you all just flying planes? And he said that when you're in Air Force, Navy, whatever, you get points for every single thing you do. So when they like took off from the cargo ship, there was somebody there saying, that was a perfect takeoff, they get a 5. That was a shitty takeoff, they get a 2. And like every single thing they do, they're getting like points.
I want that job, just to be a fucking critic of like 20-year-olds. Be like, that was a bullshit.
I was like, whoa. You're talking, I'm on United Airlines, and the pilot's coming in. Can I know if they're like a 5 out of 5 star
like,
lander, or
what's your
are they
rating?
a 3.2? Because I'll buckle up either way.
Oh my God.
But I thought that was fascinating. So Cougar was the like rock star, and Tom Cruise, aka Maverick, was not. He was like number 2. Then Cougar had like a breakdown because he like saw his wife and kids, and then just like got too close to almost dying, and so he just decided to quit there and then. I thought that was pretty dramatic.
I know. I was like, is this are we having like a mental breakdown? Kind of. I don't know, but don't worry, because Tom Cruise is like, let's go land. JK! Ha 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 ha! We're gonna go help him. And you're like, thank God, but also, okay, we could,
Okay, can we talk about Tom Cruise's personality? So, on the one hand, he's a maverick. He does whatever he wants. He won't follow any rules. He goes by instinct. But then on the other, he will not leave a man behind. He is your brother to the end.
Except when it's Iceman, and then he's like, fuck off.
Unless he's trying to beat you in Top Gun school.
Like,
I was like, what? This is so confusing.
Yeah, but they end up saving Cougar. And then they land, and then Cougar's like, wow, what an experience. I'm out. I'm tapping out. I have a high score in this game of death, and I'm out. And you're like, oh shit.
So this guy that was like the, general or something?
Oh my
colonel?
God. I was like, this man is smoking a cigar in every scene. He's
James
smoking
Tolkien.
and yelling.
He's in so many movies, and I feel like he's just like always plays the same like evil authoritarian person
who yells, but then he's like, you're the best, god damn it, son of a bitch. And you're like, whoa, okay.
First of all, I don't know if you paid attention to this, but he was like, Maverick, you've lost your qualifications 3 times. And he was like, but because Cougar's out, you're heading to the top 1% flight school. I was like, is this the white man pass? Like,
absolutely.
And also, I go to my husband and I was like, excuse me, are you allowed to screw up this many times? And he was like, no, this is movies. He's like, there's no way you could screw up that much and still like move forward or even be in the Navy. I was like,
because he yells at him. He's like, you almost ruined that plane, which is our taxpayers' dollars paid for that plane. Anyway, off to flight school. See you, dude. I was like, that's not how you punish someone, but okay. So we got motorcycles. We got jets.
Oh my
God. We got ships. We got cars. We got all the automobiles. And we meet the other pilots, I guess? Other dudes.
The flyers.
We meet the men who will be orgying, I hope, later.
Okay, I know you referenced Independence Day, but I got some Men in Black vibes when he was like,
oh my
God.
God.
You are the elite. You are the best. And I thought, is Men in Black making fun of Top Gun? And I never knew that reference.
So. Boy, do I hope so.
You are the best of the best of the best, sir.
Sir.
We meet Val Kilmer.
Okay, so
Iceman.
Yeah, he's putting out the vibes. I'm just saying.
I felt like they'd be a really good balance because Tom is very emotional,
like
fiery.
Ooh.
And Val Kilmer is very much like, why don't you just kind of like be
chill.
safe, chill, don't kill your co-pilot. You know, like they would have been a long love.
Do you think Iceman was called Iceman because he had frosted tips? Or
no,
something
they
else?
said it. It was so cheesy. They're like, they call him Iceman because the way he flies is so cold. Okay, but I think in the updated version where they're all gay, people say that. People be like, he used to have like no frosted tips, and then once he frosted them, we were like, Iceman, and then he flew incredible.
And then he influenced Lance Bass, and then in Sin Cabin years later.
Lance Bass could play him! Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Imagine if Lance started working out intensely from this moment on, and then we started the movie.
I think Lance is in good shape. I saw him on a podcast recently.
I don't know. All right, wow.
He's doing really well. Anyway, okay, there is a line that's important that, again, I think sets the tone for this movie, and it's one guy who I don't know the name of turns to another man who I don't know the name of, and the one says, "This gives me a hard-on," and the other turns to him and says, "Don't tease me." I did not make that up, you guys. That is an actual quote.
I missed that.
Okay, well, while you were paying attention to the Russian invasion, I was paying attention to the vibes. So,
wow.
Yeah, and that was like during that scene where the guy was like, "You guys are so great and welcome, welcome. I'm Tom Skerritt, and yeah, we have mustaches." And I was like, "This is."
He was a great character, though. I liked him.
I liked him too.
Mike,
yeah,
aka Viper.
Viper.
Wait, I'm like putting this all together because after these scenes, everyone just all drinks Budweiser. It's just like Budweiser, and I feel like this would be an epic updated Budweiser commercial if they doubled down on the gay community.
Wait,
right?
That's an idea. That's a fucking idea.
They take the Top Gun scenes, they turn it all gay, and it's like Budweiser. We're here for everybody, and you're like, yeah, Budweiser, biggest brand turnaround ever. Because no one would know what to do, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho. So, basically you learn that Maverick is super, super confident, aka egotistical, aka annoying.
He really is. And it's not just in his like pilot life he's like that. It's like all day, every day, because they immediately go to a Navy bar, is what I'm gonna call this, because it's just a bar full of Navy men hanging out.
In their uniforms.
Where is that, by the way? Should I
think you should go. You should go.
Should I go with like a grandma sweater over my shoulders? Like
I think we should perm and fluff your hair. Absolutely.
I loved her hair in this movie. So
in the back of your shirt, we'll just say astrophysicist. You know?
And then underneath in small letters, have you ever seen Top Gun? Let me know.
yeah.
Oh my god.
JK.
Yeah, so this is where he talks with Iceman a little more, and they're like, yeah, I'm better than you, and their faces are really close together. I think it was minimum 3 inches, so I don't know.
It was pretty hot, and he was like, I knew Cougar. You know, he's kind of like, you only got here because Cougar bowed out. And I was ooh, cold.
Ooh, cold. We need some ice for that burn.
Oh, but you know what? They were flirting, and then the movie's like, it's a love story. It's a heterosexual love story. Let's throw in a really weird bet where Tom Cruise sings to some random lady, Katie.
This was like a production.
Would this work for you?
Not if it was Tom Cruise. Maybe if it was Iceman, I might be like, like
I just walked. I was like, who gave this man a microphone? Where is it plugged in?
Hello? Do you carry that around at all times, sir?
That would be the only thing that would impress me. I'd be like, stop singing. But also, where did you get the microphone? Can we do karaoke?
And also, do you choreograph this on your downtime with your buddy?
That's incredible.
You guys had moves. I don't know.
Acapella, too. Wow.
She just kind of goes right into it. Although, she does say a funny line, because he's like, my name's Maverick, which was not his name.
Wow.
Just to be clear. And she goes, Maverick, does your mother not like you or something?
Wait, I did have this in my notes. If someone came up to you and said their name was Maverick, Kate, would you date them?
I would be like, we're going to have to think of something else to call you.
Kind of like when I met James and I was like, that is also my father, brother, and grandpa's name. We can't call you that. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
We need something else.
Thank
you. But she... Yeah. So I have a question because she's kind of like, deuces. And then she goes and like hangs with this older guy. Was that? Because then he jokes later. He's like, you shouldn't date that guy. And I was like, I don't think that's a date. I thought it was like her dad. But then we never saw him again. And I was like, oh my God, was that a date? Girl, what's happening? I didn't
He might have died. He was so old. Can I tell you?
This just shows how I was focused on the wrong information of this movie, because I was like, I don't know who the bad guys are, but I do know that man is a little too old for her. Right? I said it.
Okay, but Tom Cruise was so weird with her because he was like, he followed her into the ladies' room.
Hated it. I
hated
it.
Such a no-no. I feel like if some guy was like trying to be flirty with me and follows me into the bathroom, I'm like, this is called boundaries. You failed. Goodbye.
That's where I would sing Highway to the Danger Zone. Calling the cops right now.
Also, I don't think, I know most nostalgic movies don't, but this doesn't pass the Bechdel test, I don't think.
There's no women that speak to each other.
That's
not true. Meg Ryan and Charlie do speak to each other.
But it's about a man.
It's about a man, yeah, so it fails.
So it still fails.
Wow.
I am so disappointed in the writing for this Charlie character because then the bar scene's over, we go to school, and we find out she's a teacher. And then, instead of Tom Cruise being like, oh shit, I'm gonna just hide in the back of the class and chill, he like challenges her, makes fun of her, and I hated it.
Me too. And I wrote, so Maverick is an actually guy? No surprise there.
Well, she was like, MIGs can't do this. And he was like, well, I flew with a MIG. They can.
I actually saw one yesterday.
Oh my God.
Because I know things and I'm smarter than ladies. Gosh. And I was like, can you chill and just write it in an email? Okay, please.
Oh my God. And I thought to myself, she's this high-level security clearance, works for the White House, astrophysicist. I have no idea why she should be teaching people to fly, but whatever. She's gonna date him?
They kept calling her a civilian, too. Which I was like, isn't she, like, what do you mean? When I think of civilian, I think of, like, Billy on the street. You run up to, like, a random person, and you're like, miss, for $1.
No,
how tall
like,
is Tom
she's not
Cruise?
in the Navy, I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just felt like I was like, there is no freaking way she is dating you. This is such the most non-believable plot ever. But thank God, right when you get to that point, they're like, fight scene! Fire scene! And then you just forget everything because it's so cool to watch. And I'm not like into any of that, but I thought it was pretty cool.
It was cool. And I guess they were just like, they were doing a lot of practice stuff, right? Where it was like, one of the teachers would be the plane or the jet that they had to like lock onto. Yeah. But they were like fast and all this shit. And honestly, it was beautiful to watch, but every time there was a plane scene, I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I never knew what was happening. I just
know there's planes, and that's about it.
And someone's chasing, and someone's shooting, but they're not, it's all fake.
Goose is taking Polaroids the whole time. No, I'm just kidding.
Literally, Goose straight up said to Maverick, I need you to do that pilot shit. He's on your tail.
Wow. Way to communicate, friend.
Is that not the most epic thing ever?
Okay, again, just to focus in on the theme, there is a moment where they're like, all right, kids, we're all done. Let's go land. And instead of landing, Tom Cruise is like, we're actually going to speed past these towers and scare everyone. And so they do that. Some guy spills coffee all over himself. And then the very next scene is the guy who got coffee spilled is yelling at the teacher, like, these guys are so dumb, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, I want some butts. That's what he says. That's one sentence he yells. And I understand it was in context, but I'm just saying.
Now that we're putting
it was a butt
together,
reference.
Kate, we're putting it together.
I'm going to write a QAnon theory about this on Reddit.
I feel like this was Maverick's 89th chance again, because then the new teacher's like, listen, you had a hell of a day, kid, but you can't be doing that so you're in the doghouse. But don't worry, I'm going to give you 75 more chances. I'll see you tomorrow. Buckle up.
Honestly, it kind of felt like Harry Potter and Dumbledore, where it's like, I should subtract 1,000 house points, but instead I'm going to give you 10,000, just cause.
And then the other guy was like, what the hell? Why are you being so nice to me? Sucks. And he's like, let me ask you one question. You're going into battle. Would you want him with you? And he's like, I don't know. Like, and in my head, I was like, why should he know? He's had one day of teaching.
We saw him fly once, and it wasn't great. God. I don't know.
Here's, oh my God, look what I wrote. Oh my God, this next scene. Okay, hold on. So then Goose goes to Maverick in a sad foreshadowing moment where he's like, Maverick, I kind of get afraid of the way you fly. I love you, I trust you, but like, we're here. Let's try to win the safe way. We could do it. And then I wrote, don't join Scientology, Goose.
Oh! That, honestly, if Goose didn't die in the way he did, it probably would have been that way. Let's be real.
I cannot. Goose was like, I'm afraid to be in the back seat map questing you. I cannot.
Yeah, and then there's some weird scene where I guess, like, the teacher lady is like, I don't date students. And I go, thank God. And then the next scene, they go on a date. And I was like, well, that's just the opposite, but okay, that's fine.
This is the scene where she's like, I don't date students, blah, blah, blah. And she writes on his, like, test her personal address.
That's a paper trail.
And literally makes a joke and says classified.
Don't like it.
I'm sorry.
It's not classified.
Katie, I teach. Never in my life would I ever date a student, not to mention on the first date give your personal address?
Yeah.
She trying to die?
Honestly, you could recut this movie as a horror movie from the woman's perspective, and it starts off with Tom Cruise creeping on the bar, busting into the ladies' room, harassing her at her job, busting into her home, drinking all her wine, asking to use her shower. I cannot.
I'm so furious. But don't worry, because again, just when you think this movie's terrible, the volleyball scene
comes.
I
was going to say the volleyball scene I think is before their date, and okay.
Oh yeah. The dog tags around their shirtless bodies is so amazing. And the fact, first of all, the volleyball game is not even that long in the actual movie.
Yeah.
But it's so iconic that I think people assume it's really long. It's just like a pickup game. And they're sweaty and they don't have shirts on. But it's like the 80s, so it's like, it reminds me of like the Bruce Willis vibes where like nobody's like The Rock. Nobody is like super jacked, but they all like are incredible. They have an incredible shape. But to go from here to a first date where you're sweaty from like a pickup volleyball game? Ew.
Not just a pickup volleyball game, Bridge. Do you know what song was playing during this scene?
No, what was it?
Don't worry, because I just Googled it to confirm. And the song is called, I'm not kidding, Playing with the Boys. By Kenny Loggins. What the F? Because I literally remember them saying, like, they were like lines that was like, playing with the boys. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh my.
What is this? Who's playing with the boys?
And Goose is like, don't leave me, please.
Yeah,
we're just about to lube up.
They were lubed enough.
The getting from a sweaty, throwing on a shirt, and then the aviator jacket with the aviator sunglasses.
I was
and
overheated.
The motorcycle.
No.
Getting to her house and asking if he could use her shower. Katie, do not. I don't care if the dating pool's been so bad. If some man shows up and asks to shower, I'd be like, no.
Well, I thought that was like a way for him. I thought it was like a pickup line. Like, I was like, oh, are you asking her to shower with you? But he wasn't. He was like, no, just me.
He was late, too.
Oh,
he was late, asked for a shower. I'm like, nothing is believable about this.
And you know it's a bad date when you don't have a good makeout at the end. Sorry, my personal opinion. He just deuced out. He was like, no, I have to shower. by. And I was like, bitch, she made you dinner. Also, why the fuck did you make him dinner? Ew.
I hate it.
Ew, what if he sucks? Don't make people that suck dinner. You don't even know him yet.
You start with drinks. You start with coffee. You start with drinks. You don't go to food yet.
Well, you don't make the food yourself.
Unless, although I have had dates where, like, I think I told you this story. This guy, like, really catfished me. Like, very bad, to the point that we were texting and he sent a selfie. So it, like, looked like he had just taken it, but it was a saved selfie from years ago.
Was it him?
It was him, but from, like, years ago. Like, he was, like, 10 years older. And I'm like, you busted out a saved selfie to pretend like we're just chatting this way. And in those cases, I think you should eat, and I got a big double cheeseburger with, like, extra fries, and then that was, like, fun to get, like,
but he
something out of it.
Make it for you.
No, he did not. Thank God. I wouldn't have trusted that.
Exactly.
Imagine the fake ingredients.
Oh. They were 10 years old.
Oh, gross.
Okay, so we get
back
some
to planes.
We get some backstory that I don't understand.
Oh my god.
At the fuck all, why this needed to be part of his backstory. That Maverick's dad mysteriously disappeared in a jet and nobody knows what happened. And, you know, we don't find out that Tom Skerritt's dad. There's no big reveal. We just find out later,
there is a big reveal.
It's just that he's dead.
Well, it's okay. My understanding was he never knew his dad disappeared. He never knew, like, the reason why he disappeared or, like, the buildup. And they were like, it's classified. And then later in the movie, the commander of the school is like, I actually flew with your dad and he saved a bunch of us and then got killed. But we were on, like, the wrong side of the turf that we should have been. So that's why it's classified. And I think he was, like, basically saying your dad was a hero.
Yeah,
however, Tom Cruise did not respond. He just moved on. It was so weird.
That's why I was like, why do we need
it? Didn't need to be a plot point
at all. Yeah,
it was like fake mystery. Hated it.
It was pretty dumb. And Bridge, I'm sorry. My next notes are, guys, why do you keep blue balling each other? That could be any part of the movie, by the way.
Any part.
To be clear. But then I think we meet Meg Ryan, who is Goose's wife, and they have, what, 2 kids? 1 kid? How many kids?
They have 1 kid.
1 kid.
They come to visit.
Yeah.
And it's, like, adorable, and she is... Wow, interesting.
She's Meg Ryan. Yeah.
She's Meg Ryan, but she's not like, hi, Meg Ryan. She's like, hey, Goose, whoo, yeah, straddle me up, baby, yeah.
Oh, I know. It's like, whoa, horny lady. She must have watched the volleyball scene before. Damn.
Wow, she must have been like, I gotta amp it up around all these men.
Like, I got some competition with some of these guys. So this was also a double date, which I was like, whoa, that's moving fast. Okay, sure. Introduce your lady friend that you just met. That I also thought it was going to be like a secret relationship between Tom Cruise and the teacher. Yeah. Nope, pretty sure everybody knows, and nothing happens. Like, that's not a point either. So you're like, okay. But.
This is, I know if there's guys listening, they wanted us to talk more about, like, fighter scenes and stuff, but the love story is so bad, I have to keep talking about it. Because this is when she's in the front of the class, and she's like, this is the wrong way to do it. And he was like, well, that's the way I did it, and I think it's smart. And she was like, that plane was worth $30 million. And in my head, I was like, so, like, money is worth more than his life, but okay, check.
Yep.
And then the freaking class ends, and she's like, hey, Maverick. And he's ignoring her like a little baby.
Oh my God.
Ignoring her. And she goes, hey, I want to tell you. And he was like, he just drives away in his motorcycle.
It turns into Fast and Furious.
Oh my God. She runs the stop sign, almost crashes a bunch of people. And then she was like, I wanted to finish my fucking sentence. And he was like, what? And then, Katie... I can't make this up. I wanted so bad for her to say, don't ever disrespect me in my classroom again. Fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Don't ever talk to me. Instead, she was like, I couldn't tell the classroom that I think you're a genius.
God,
and it was the best move I've ever seen a flyer do. But I didn't want anyone to know that we had something. I'm like, you lost me there. You lost me with the astrophysicist calling him a genius. You lost me.
I mean, going from Fast and Furious... the prequel, prequel all the way to making out in the street.
It's just horrible. Their love, whoever, they must have been like, okay, we have millions of dollars. 99% of it is on the fight scenes. And we're going to pay the Navy millions of dollars for their plane. And then let's get the intern to write the love story. Anybody?
Yeah, it just was not great.
It's so bad.
And then there is some other training, something. I feel the need for speed. And they lose, whatever that means. I don't know it's a plane scene, which means I don't know what we're doing.
Well, I did somewhat pay attention to this. He was like with some other dude, and they were like buddies, doing like a tag team. But he was like, I'm gonna leave this guy and go after the top
and he
guy.
Went up to he was trying to get Viper.
Oh, was it Viper? Okay.
Viper came in, and no, you're right. He was with someone. They were on one guy, but then Viper came in, and he's like, "Screw you, partner. I'm going to get Viper." And the partner's like, "No, we're a team." And then I wrote that they have serious conversations in towels.
I just wrote, "There's so much gay energy in this locker room. I cannot." So many naked men. They're all wet. They're all. Yeah. It's just.
I don't even remember what they talked about. I just know it was serious, and they were naked.
Well, he said it's not your flying, Maverick. This is Iceman confessing his love. It's not your flying. It's your attitude. You're dangerous and you're foolish.
He's like, you're dangerous, and I like danger in my pants. If you know what I'm saying.
I'm your safety net.
He's like, let me just flash my towel fell. Oh, excuse me. Let me bend down and pick it up slowly.
Oh
yeah, I just wrote, now we're in the danger zone. And I still wasn't entirely sure, is this a real battle? Is this a fake battle? Because I think the next one we see is the one where Goose gets his goose cooked, sorry.
Oh, you were waiting for that line.
Ooh.
I just feel like...
But was that a fake battle or a real one? Because if it's a fake one and that shit happened, I would be so mad at Tom Cruise.
It was a fake one. Okay, but I also went to our expert on hand, aka my husband, and I was like, wait, was that Maverick's fault about the plane? I know the court cleared him, but like he also gets 800 chances in life.
Yeah, he's got that Scientology.
Did he actually screw up? And James was like, no, that was the plane's fault. I was like, really? Is that something that actually happens? He's like, yes, that does actually happen, and it's very bad luck, and it can happen. But it was so sad.
I didn't realize. I don't know. I remember Goose died, but
they tried to eject. So they all tried to.
I know, but I didn't remember how he died. In my memory, I thought it was his parachute didn't go off, and he like slapped and like died like that. No, he like slams into the glass because the glass wasn't moved. Something, like physics, something. I don't know.
Like so like when they eject, he ejected like too quickly and didn't open his hatch or whatever, and so he basically hit the glass, and where Tom Cruise, his hatch went off, and so he got out.
But somehow his parachute's still open, so... Anyway, he's dead, so...
I just...
really horrible.
It was so sad, and he's like lying in the ocean. Tom Cruise, again, was like hugging him, embracing.
Caressing his sweet face.
This was the only time I was like, I don't hate Tom Cruise right now, because he's mourning.
I hated him a little because at first he wasn't... excuse me. I didn't see him, like, crying at all, and I wrote a note being like, is anyone gonna cry over Goose? Because they kind of, like, very quick are like,
I know.
Goose is dead. Now you're in trial. You're cleared of charges. Go get Goose's shit to his wife. And you're like, wow, that happened fast. I think that was like actual long time in between, but fine. And nobody cried. And I was like, who's going to cry? But then Tom Cruise does cry when he's alone. And I was like, thank God. And also Meg Ryan cries. And I was like, girl, I knew I wanted you here because
thank God.
We needed some tears. I don't know.
Although I was so mad that when she sees Maverick, she's like, he loved flying with you. I was like, no. We don't need to bust his ego right now.
It's not all about you, Maverick.
Maverick should be comforting the wife, should be comforting you. He's the problem, okay? He's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I just feel like, I don't know. Also, I have this weird line in here that I was like, you know who'd be really good in Top Gun? Would be Darth Vader. Ooh. Do you remember how he used to fly those planes?
He could swirl around.
Fuck shit up.
He could handle the swirly
He's definitely gay energy, Darth Vader.
You know? he technically was a dad, but I could see him swinging both. Be a pitch hitter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, dads can be gay.
They can.
I mean, duh.
So then Maverick's like, "Wah, I'm sad, and I don't have a person I like who's my in the back person, and nobody brings their camera on flight like Goose did. And everything's sad." And they do another training, and then Maverick is basically like, "I'm too sad. I'm gonna land," and I'm like, I still don't know what's happening ever.
The head instructor is like, "Get him up flying as fast as possible.
Get him up there. Send him up."
Is this 2 days later? What is wrong with all of you?
I have no conception of time. I don't know anything, because then also Charlie apparently got a new job, and apparently they don't hang out anymore. Is it one day we didn't hang out? Is it 8,000 days?
So confused.
I don't know, but Maverick is like, "I'm quitting." And then that's when she's like, "Hey, bitch, you gonna quit?" And he's like, "Well, you got a new job." And she's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm leaving too." And you're like, "Wait, did we not talk anymore?" Okay, I thought you guys made out, but alright, it's cool.
So awkward.
Fucking fine. I don't know.
Also, Iceman finally is like, "Hey, I'm so sorry about Goose. Sorry."
That's what makes Tom Cruise quit. And I was like, that's a petty timing to quit. Because, Iceman's being nice to you, and then you're like, "God, fuck you, Iceman! You're the straw that broke the camel's back. Wham! I'm gonna go to a bar." And I was like, you should just say thanks. But, okay.
And then he goes to instructor Mike Viper, /Viper, who then is like, "Hey, I knew your dad. Here's the story with that. And also, you have two options. One, you quit, or else you show up on graduation day." And I was like, okay, this is the pump up. And then he shows up to graduation.
Yeah, but he came late. So I was like, did he graduate? Or... he technically missed it. Actually, Tom,
didn't graduate.
Actually, get a diploma. Actually, also, I laughed so loud at this fucking part. They're all like, "Yay, everyone graduated, life is good. Iceman's #1, he got a shiny plaque, woohoo! Hey, yeah, Maverick's here, wow, everyone's happy, everyone's nice, go team." Literally, Tom Skerritt then goes, "All right, everyone, this has been fun, but actually we have a crisis situation, and we have to go right now because lives are on the line. So let's wrap this up. All right, get it to go back. We gotta go." And I was like, what the fuck is going
It was like, "In 24 hours, I need you all at the Indian Ocean for a rescue operation." It's like, what? And I this was the part in my notes that I wrote, the story is not complicated. The plane scenes, I have no idea what's happening. I'm like you, Katie, but they're so cool. They're so cool to watch because it's real planes, real footage, real flying. I love it. But I thought we were done. I thought we graduated and we learned lessons and we were done, but we were not done, Kate. We had to end on a Tom Cruise high.
I don't even think he graduated #1. So let's just keep that in perspective, because he gets chosen as one of the people who have to be on this crisis situation mission, which I was again like, what's the crisis? Who are we? Where are we? What's going on?
I don't know if this is so stupid, but you know how when they get up there and they're like, "We got a bogey," and they're like, "We got 3 bogeys, 4 bogeys, 5. I was like, "James, what's a bogey?" He's like, "Ugh." He's like, "Bridget, it's an enemy aircraft. Did you know that? Did you know what a bogey was?"
I knew it was the bad person.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know anything else.
I was like, oh my god, I would be the person up there that's like, "Guys, who is bogey?"
I just want to point out too, someone does bring up that they also have a hard-on during this crisis situation while they're in a plane. Okay, thank you. That's my last hard-on reference.
Ew.
I think. Somebody said it, not me. Somebody fucking said it.
Tom Cruise had this moment where it was like Rose from Titanic, where part of the blue ocean, she takes Goose's dog tag and he flies it into the ocean.
No, we need to wait. I'm not mentally there yet. We will get there. First, we have to talk about, I wrote, there's really whirly twirly flying, #1. #2, Maverick is supposed to help Iceman. He literally flies away, and then Iceman's like, "Great, now I'm gonna die." And Maverick starts telepathically he tries to do a Star Wars. He's like, "Where is Obi-Wan? Nobody's speaking to me. Goose,
talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Goose.
Where are you?" And I was like, what do you want Goose to say? Go save the guy? Because
can I tell you?
You should know that, Dick.
How awkward the guy in the back. He's like, "Maverick, are you okay up there?" And he's like, "Can Can we not die?
He's like,
Are
can
you
you just put on
speaking to
this like
yourself?
fake mustache and like talk like Goose for a moment?
He's
Just,
like, take this Polaroid camera.
We're gonna fly upside down. Just take a picture of anything.
Pretend
please,
you're married to Meg Ryan.
Oh my god, I could not fucking believe it. But yeah, they kill everyone. And I wrote, were those enemies? Also, should we be worried? Also, is there a war? Who cares? Let's celebrate.
It's so funny you mentioned the Obi-Wan Kenobi. I had the same thing.
Yeah.
He's re-engaging, and Maverick's like, I'm coming! It was so, I don't know, it was just so funny that he was like, I can't leave Ice! And this is where I thought the love story would have been incredible. He didn't leave him.
The first thing that
I do love you!
The first thing that Iceman says when he sees Maverick is he goes, you! And I was like, yes? Are you gonna make out? But then they just
the sexual chemistry.
Okay, now we need to talk about the dog tag and the Titanic.
Hold on. This is when I texted you because they get down and everyone's like, yeah! And I was like, we won! We murdered a bunch of people!
We don't know who they are! Also.
I was like, I know we want to be like happy we survived, but like, is that really how? Do people really like it's like a football Super Bowl game where like everyone's cheering on the runway for like a bunch of people that died? Wait, wasn't this also
a rescue mission? Did we rescue anyone?
I don't know.
Is anyone rescued? Or are they still out there? Like,
no idea.
I'm fucking lost. Yeah, but Tom Cruise then is like, you know what? In a couple years, James Cameron needs some inspiration for some bullshit scene. And I'm gonna give it to him right now, and I'm gonna throw my only memory of my friend to the bottom of the ocean to pollute the seas to damage our planet.
I was out loud. I was like, why didn't you keep that memory?
Why didn't you give it to Meg Ryan, you dick?
And then I think also James walked by me and he was like, I think he's ready to move on. I'm like, it's been 4 days.
It's
like,
not
I don't
about you, Maverick. Oh my god,
and then it ends where they're like, so, what are you gonna do next, Maverick? And he's like, I don't know, might be an instructor. I was like, you?
Yeah,
Can
I was
you imagine his instructions? He'd be like, listen, step 1, follow your instinct. Step 2, I'm the best. Step 3, you'll never be better than me. That's
Step
the teaching
4,
for today.
fly upside down. Step 5, Polaroid.
He's like, one of the things I wish I would have done in Top Gun, had a lot more sex. So, boys, buckle up.
I mean, so there was a reboot, and I have not seen it. I heard it's pretty good, and I wonder.
I have not seen it either. Now I feel like I should.
Did
since
we
just
dive
did
into the sexy time? I don't know. But yeah, and then he makes out with the lady, and I guess they're in love again. And the end credits, it's not even the end credits, it's like an 80s like sitcom where they just show everyone's faces like freeze frame. And I was like, is this Full House? What? Wait, why is this happening? And why
can
was
I tell you
the first one?
Katie, I cannot tell you how many people they're like, and there's Slatter, and there's Wolfman. I was like, who are these people? I watched the whole movie. I remember Iceman, Goose, and Maverick. That's it. I don't remember any other. And they kept popping up. I was like, there were so many people who I had no idea who they were.
I would have failed the quiz. There's no way.
Absolutely failed.
My God.
Oh my God.
Wow. Well, Bridge, what do you think? Would you watch or don't watch?
I know that this is like probably not a okay way, but I don't think you need to watch this movie. You just need to watch the cool plane scenes on like YouTube.
And the volleyball scene.
That's it. Just clips. I think this is a clip movie.
Yeah.
Just so you're like up to speed, but no, you don't really need to watch it. I don't think so.
There's gotta be on YouTube like a montage of all the like sweaty men moments with like some like village people, YMCA music happening.
Would you watch it again?
No.
Yeah. See, isn't that interesting?
Unless it was like, I don't know, maybe with someone who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I'd be willing to do it
but
if someone was like interested.
No.
Yeah, one and done, baby.
Yeah. Whew.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Kate, it's that time.
Woo!
I'm picking the next movie.
Danger Zone.
First of all, when are we doing our nostalgic?
You know, we've actually skipped that, like,
Did we stop doing that?
We just kind of blacked out, and we missed like 2 or 3 months. So
should we do those again? Or
well, we
no?
already screwed up because this one will be the last one of the month.
So maybe we take off for the summer, and then we
can pick it back up.
Pick it back up in September?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or we can just see if it started next month. We just forgot.
Okay, oops. Alright. Anywho, this film is from 1999.
Ooh.
Party like it's 1999. It's a coming-of-age teen sex comedy.
Teen sex? Okay.
I would argue
It makes me sweaty.
that one of the actors in this film had a major comeback this year and other years.
Okay.
My
mind goes to Brendan Fraser.
They're a mom in this film. This is...
Okay.
the first time you see it, because you'll never eat a pie the same again, American Pie.
Oh!
Stifler's mom!
Oh, yes! Okay. I was like, who is the mom? Well.
Are you ready for Jason Biggs to put his penis in a pie?
I'm not. I am mentally prepared for the one time at band camp jokes because...
Did you go to band camp a lot?
I've been to billions of band camps.
Oh my God.
And I can guarantee you nothing fun happens there until you're not a student, and then maybe it's more fun. But yeah, wow, I haven't seen this one in a long time.
I just feel like, I'm sure it's like so dated and terrible now, but at the time it was like wild. Do you remember?
And Sean William Scott too was in it, and Tara Reid,
Jennifer Coolidge, and
God,
so many. My God,
what's the Schitt's Creek?
Natasha Lyonne?
No, Schitt's Creek. What's the dad? Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? I'm so ashamed of myself. Eugene Levy. Yes, Eugene Levy's the dad.
I'm blanking too.
He's the dad. Oh, Shannon Elizabeth, Allison Hannigan.
My God.
Oh my God, some other people.
This is a stacked cast.
Wow, Sean William Scott is not one of the top. That's weird.
Wow.
Isn't he like him and Jason Bigg, like the main people?
No,
No?
He's kind of like, he's one of the main ones, but he's not like the whole thing. But oh my God.
Well, there was a lot of sequels to this too, which we probably won't do.
Oh God, no.
That's a lot. A lot of pies.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be like horrific, but and probably very, very, very sexist and not PC. But I just feel like, I don't know, I just want to change it up.
What does the one sentence say?
The one that I read?
No, for like when you look up this movie, what does it say?
It says, I'm on like Wikipedia. Coming of age. Let me see. Here, I'll look up streaming.
You go on Wikipedia when you look up the movies?
No. I just did that to like, you know.
I was like, that's funny. I go on IMDb.
4 high school students. No, sorry. Hold on. I screwed that up.
What?
4 high school friends navigate through their sexually frustrating senior year as they strive for the most eagerly anticipated right of adulthood, losing one's virginity.
Wow. It's already dated. Okay.
I was going to say like every teen movie in like late early 2000s. So freaking funny.
Oh, Lord almighty.
Welcome to the danger zone, folks. I'll see you there.
That is the danger zone.
Are you actually excited to watch this, or are you, like, mad? I'm curious.
I'm not mad. I'll watch it. I haven't seen it in...
Take my breath away.
Well, Bridge.
Wow.
I just want to say...
Goose?
If you were... my goose. Because I just feel like, I don't know.
I might be your goose.
Would you want to be the Polaroid, or do you want to do the joystick? What?
No, I think you're driving this train. You're editing, you're driving. I'm goosing.
I'll definitely be driving. If we ever do flip upside down, it's not on purpose. It's probably because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, and they keep putting us up here, and it's crazy. But Bridge, I would respect your request to fly safely, and I would make sure that if we had to eject, you don't die. I don't know how I do that, but I would make it so. And I would make sure we play volleyball with Val Kilmer.
Wow, thank you so much for not killing me.
You're welcome.
Kate,
Bridge.
If we're at a bar and some psychotic lunatic finds a rogue microphone, sings you a song, says he's Maverick, and follows you into a bathroom, I'm gonna beat the living shit out of him. Because he should be nowhere near you.
And then we'll be like, welcome to the danger zone, bitch!
I'll be like, don't ever mess up with my sister again! take my breath away.
Wow.
And then we walk out of the room.
Oh, Bridge, I love that. And you know what, listeners, if you also love putting men in the danger zone, you deserve it. Metaphorically or literally, you decide.
Literally.
And if you think that Goose, like, really just got shafted, I just
Screwed.
Nobody cried for him. Was there a funeral?
I did.
No
I
one
cried
knows.
for Goose.
Bridget cried for him. Only Bridget cried. And if you think that, you know what? There just should have been an orgy. Okay? We're all thinking it. I'm the one who said it out loud.
Yeah.
There just should have been one. And missed opportunity, but there's still time. Okay? So everybody just think about that. If you think all that, you should write us a review.
Hey.
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. If you have any requests, maybe there's another 80s movie about macho dudes, but really they all just want to make out. I feel like there's a lot of those. I'm not gonna lie.
There's so many.
There's probably lots. So put it on there, goes on a list, and we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee.
Woo!
Which will go to Remembering Goose. We will.
In our hearts.
In our heart. And merchandise, which I just thought of like a brilliant one from this movie. And so you better check it out because I cannot wait to do it.
So excited.
And just like check it out. Have fun. We're having fun. You should have fun with us. Okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so check all that out, listeners, and we hope to hear from you. All right, well, we'll see you all next week for American Pie.
Woo! Stifler's mom!
And immediately, like, 90s, like, I don't even know if that song's this movie, but I feel like it probably is.
There's no surprise to me.
Yes.
I am my own worst enemy.
Literally.
Yeah.
Definitely the vibe.
I love it.
Wow.
I love
All right.
it.
I love you.
I love you.
See you then.
Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.